Welcome to Season 1, Episode 1 of The Quiet Cup, where each episode invites you to slow down, reflect, and reconnect to your space. So before I get into the transition from summer to autumn, here's my current to-do list. I need to order curbside, study flashcards, touch up my registry, and get ready for church. But as summer ends, we step into a time that carries a lot of meaning, like an open invitation to move, to explore, and to try things we might otherwise hold back from. But as it fades, we're reminded of life's rhythm, that after seasons of outward energy comes a pull toward grounding, solidification, and even a gentle kind of hibernation. Before we get into autumn, I want to reflect and close out on this current season. What about summer has felt freeing or familiar to you? Being outside in the sun, traditions that have grown familiar to you, new endeavors like pregnancy, career changes, or dreams like starting a new project. What did you try this season that pushed you beyond your comfort zone or original decisions that can be solidified in the new season? For me, summer was really about preparation. Life didn't look the way I thought it would, while many people around me were traveling, resting, and celebrating. I was navigating loss, change, and preparing for a transition into my career. What I remembered through this time was, the grass isn't always greener. I will be able to rest. I will be able to travel and celebrate. Just because this season was challenging doesn't mean I have to be envious or compare how others rest to my own. Also, in these difficult moments, there was so much beauty I discovered. I realized I could either look at what others were doing and feel left out, or trust that my own rhythm and timing would come. That I could celebrate others' wins and thank God that I'm leaning on Him to prepare for my life and for my own wins, and to live my life currently and enjoy what I have around me. To be encouraged through the successes of others and continue to make healthy decisions for myself. That it's not enough to sit and want it, but that I have to go for it and embrace the hard work. This challenging season held so much hidden beauty. So many moments in my day I realized I can celebrate here. I don't have to wait. Sometimes success can look different for everyone and be so relative. And we think success is hitting the next mark or doing the next thing or constantly living in the next for some satisfaction of success. But during this time, I realized success is waking up and choosing to have a better attitude. Success is going through difficulties and choosing to endure. Success is in any moment of your life choosing a wise way to handle it. And in these moments, I noticed God's presence in the small things. Even my emotional breakdowns, I realized the beauty of my weakness and the power of God's strength. This is something that became so clear to me in this season of feeling like everything would fall apart. And I know that can sound dramatic, and I know we can say it's not that big of a deal, but it's honestly okay to allow yourself to feel your feelings and to feel like it sucks and to feel like it's difficult and to not know how to handle that. And in me not knowing how to handle it, I recognized the power of God's strength and giving it to Him and submitting in seasons of difficulty, because it's easy to submit when it's easy, right? But in the moments that were really, really hard, I recognized how much that I needed Him. What really encouraged me is recognizing the realm of my responsibility in these times. Remembering that I have control over what I have control over, and I don't have control over what I don't. And applying this theory in each corner of my life over, okay, I did my best here, and now I have to let it work itself out. Or I tried really hard in this area, and now I have to trust that my efforts will be rewarded. That all I have control over is my preparation, my attitude, and the way I show up. And the outcome is entirely on things that are beyond my control. So I had to remember that I have control over planning, executing, and sticking things through. I don't have to quit. I can keep trying. I can put myself out there again. It is okay. And talk myself off of that ledge of it being over or it not being worth it, or thinking that things are going to fall apart. I had to just really submit in this season and recognize that I have the responsibility and the power to show up and decide in a lot of areas in my life. That I don't have to just desire a better life. I can work towards it with God's grace. That I can make decisions that help me and that benefit me instead of crawling into the cave of being afraid and being timid and being uncomfortable and not wanting to try. That I can put myself out there and let God handle the rest. What are some things that you are desiring that you aren't making any progress towards? Why not? Why not set specific goals with actions that you can execute? Why do you feel like it's not for you? Why do you feel like you just need to wait for something to happen instead of getting out there, being uncomfortable, trying new things, and allowing yourself to potentially have a better life? We tell children they can be anything they want, that the world is theirs to explore, but somewhere along the way, we stop believing the same for ourselves. I'm not saying to convince yourself you'll be a millionaire overnight, but you can allow yourself the capacity to dream bigger, to be financially free, to be emotionally sound and a healthier version of yourself. Why don't we allow ourselves to decide better while we are in this adult space? Why do we feed all of this optimism and hope into children and we stop doing the same for ourselves? And I get it. Potentially, bills and money and stressors and jobs and deadlines get the best of us in our adult years and we feel incapable and suffocated. But why don't we lay it out? Why don't we ask ourselves, why not? Why not me? Why can't I dream and execute? So remember, your summer season may not look like everyone else's. It may be painful, scary, or unfamiliar. But if that discomfort comes from growth, from failing forward, then it's totally worth it. Not everyone's rhythm is the same. Give yourself permission to embrace a risky summer so that you can step into a grounded and solidified fall. Optimism isn't childish. Reclaiming belief in possibility is maturity, not naivety. Comparison is misleading. Your timeline is uniquely yours. Growth is messy. Progress doesn't always feel good, but it builds foundation. And seasons serve each other. The struggle of one prepares you for the fruit of another. So, where in your life do you need to give yourself permission to dream again? What risky summer step did you take that you hope will ground you in the fall? And how do you remind yourself that growth is worth the discomfort? Thank you for joining me on Season 1, Episode 1 of The Quiet Cup.